So Donald Trump has won and genocide supporter Kamala Harris has lost. Although the sellout media would have told you that this race was a close contest and both candidates were neck and neck, this wasn't the reality. Trump is on course to get more than 300 electoral college votes, and Harris should now explore finding a cheerleader's job in Israel. What helped Trump seal this election was his performance in the swing states such as Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Georgia. Mind you, it was Georgia that had stopped Trump from becoming the US president for the second time in 2020. But this time, there was no contest between him and Kamala Harris. Likewise, Trump successfully reversed his electoral fortune in Michigan, which had gone blue in 2020 when Joe Biden won the state with 51% votes. However, this time, Trump won Michigan with 49.8% votes compared to Kamala Harris's 48.3% vote share. In terms of vote count, Trump secured 83,052 more votes than Kamala Harris in Michigan. Green Party candidate Jill Stein got 44,638 votes. This clearly shows that Arabs and Muslims, who are in considerably large numbers here, didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I mean, why should they vote for a candidate who has been bankrolling Israel's genocide campaign in Gaza? Far from showing any remorse, Kamala's campaign team has sent Bill Clinton to Michigan to justify the slaughtering of Palestinians and Arabs.
I understand why young Palestinian and Arab Americans in Michigan think too many people have died. I get that. But if you lived in one of those kibbutzim in Israel, right next to Gaza, where the people there were the most pro-friendship with Palestine, most pro-two-state solution of any of the Israeli communities, were the ones right next to Gaza. And Hamas butchered them. And so then the people who criticize it are essentially saying, yeah, but look how many people you've killed in retaliation. So how many is enough for you to kill to punish them for the terrible things they did? That all sounds nice until you realize, what would you do if it was your family and you hadn't done anything but support a homeland for the Palestinians, and one day they come for you and slaughter the people in your village? You would say, well, you'll have to forgive me, I'm not keeping score that way. It isn't how many we've had to kill, because Hamas makes sure that they're shielded by civilians. They'll force you to kill civilians if you want to defend yourself.
If that was not enough, they sent Liz Cheney, the daughter of Dick Cheney, whose tenure as the vice president had seen US forces slaughter more than 1 million innocent Iraqis in an illegal war. Clip. It was clear that Kamala was being delusional, that despite her support for the slaughtering of Palestinian men, women, children, and babies, an insult for Arab and Muslims by Bill Clinton and Liz Cheney living in Michigan, she was still going to win the key swing state. What Muslims and anti-Israeli voters did in the US elections should now become a template for voters around the world to emulate, particularly in democracies such as India. I had called on Indian voters to defeat Congress and other so-called liberal parties after they too began to embark on the right-wing Hindutva policies of Narendra Modi's party, the BJP. They called me names and said that my suggestion will make the BJP win. This is exactly what they have been saying in the US. Don't vote against us, else Trump will win. Why is it Muslims' concern to make Trump lose in the US or Modi in India? These voters have to simply exercise their right to inflict a defeat on so-called liberal parties when they stop living up to their liberal and pro-humanity values. It's as simple as that. Someone summed it up brilliantly on an American TV channel today, saying that this defeat should trigger a reset within the Democratic Party. The party has to realize that you cannot take people's votes for granted. Why should people vote for you when you shun liberal values and start acting as a fascist party? Only time will tell what Trump does after becoming the president. From his past utterances, it looks like he will bring the Ukraine military conflict to an end. If he does that, this will be a favor to humanity. Warmongers Biden and his poodles in the UK created this conflict and had tens of thousands of people killed for their own nefarious motives. The conflict pushed the whole of Europe to a prolonged period of cost of living crisis. This conflict was imposed on us, and Trump will get plenty of accolades if he indeed plays a role in bringing an end to this madness. Similarly, there have been enough indications that Trump may not be keen to issue blank checks to Israel to carry out genocide in the region. He's also been opposed to the presence of US military personnel on foreign soil. Hopefully, he will also recall those hundreds of US soldiers who were recently deployed in Israel to protect the settler colony from an Iranian attack by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. What's great is that Trump himself thanked key ethnic, racial, and religious groups, including Arabs and Muslims, for his victory.
I was watching it. They had some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. They came from all quarters, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. We had everybody, and it was beautiful. It was a historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense.
His supporters too have been openly attacking Israel for its genocidal campaign. This was Sneeko putting a rabbi in his place at a Trump rally.
No, I'm not doing no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know I'm free Palestine. I don't support anything you do. I think you're a disgrace. This is for Trump right now. I don't want to have this discussion. I don't need to speak to you.
I'm a disgrace?
Yeah, I think everything you stand for is a disgrace.
Oh, me? You know who I am?
Yes, of course I do.
Hey, he knows who I am.
Of course I do. Yeah, it's all bad PR. I see what you've done with your daughter.
What is it about me that you don't like? Is it this?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you just
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. He's not talking to you.
You need this guy to defend you?
You think I need it?
Serious?
Do you think I need anybody?
That is pathetic.
Do you think I need somebody to defend me from you?
Pathetic. You see these anti-Semites are the
These
biggest
anti-Semites.
cowards on earth. He asks.
Then look me in the eye when you talk to me.
He asks
Then
a
look me in
big,
the eye.
strong guy
Who asked him?
if he needs to be canceled. Okay?
Who
Well,
asked
that's a
him?
disgrace.
Do you think I need anybody
Tell
to?
him that I can talk to you man to man. He doesn't
I don't
have
need to
sit
tell
there
him
hovering
anything.
over me. Okay?
Why are you yelling at this protest right now?
Because do not ever have your
You don't tell me what
bodyguards
to do.
threaten me.
Do visit our Telegram channel to watch the full video. The details are on the screen. Trump's deputy, J.D. Vance, whose wife is of Indian ethnic background, made it absolutely clear what the Trump administration's foreign policy would look like.
We have built a foreign policy of hectoring and moralizing and lecturing countries that don't want anything to do with it. The Chinese have a foreign policy of building roads and bridges and feeding poor people, and I think that we should pursue a foreign policy, a diplomacy of respect, and a foreign policy that is not rooted in moralizing, it's rooted in the national interest of this country. Because Ambassador Sullivan is at the lead of moralizing instead of pursuing America's national interest, I object.
Kamala Harris and her boss Joe Biden thought they were earning loyalty points by bankrolling war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu's genocide in Gaza. But see how Netanyahu reacted within minutes of Trump's victory. Biden and Harris gave away tens of billions of dollars to Israel to kill babies when even Americans suffered from abject poverty. So, all in all, Kamala Harris' defeat is great news for democracy and the will of people. Let's hope that Trump learns from his past mistakes and emerges as an inclusive leader who doesn't support a genocide or military conflict. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your support of this platform on buymecoffee.com and Patreon. If you do think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.